This morning, we have Sheikh. A big round of applause for him. Is His Grace, Right Reverend Nicholas Oko. A round of applause for him. Okay, we also have Mr. Williams. We will continue to take recognitions as we proceed in this.
Religious leaders that are here, you're welcome. My job is to welcome you to this program. And you might just think that saying welcome is an easy task. As an African and as a Nigerian, it's not. And so, our diversity is indeed the oil that mixes up what we are. And so you will hear somebody say, Samuel Zua, Ekabo, Do, Mabiala, and we will continue like that. And that is what I am doing this morning. How did you fare before you got here? Was it easy for you to find National Orientation Agency? We ask all those questions. Is the family okay? We are still saying welcome because we are people who are concerned about one another. So, in the National Orientation Agency, we do the same because the unity of Nigeria is the bedrock on which we stand and operate. If we agree that we are together, definitely nothing can divide us. So we are seated here because we have that common interest and desire. And so the welcome is to say, as stakeholders, you have done well this morning, leaving your different places, offices, homes, and other things that you would rather do than to be here. But because you put Nigeria first, and so you are here. And so I would say, it will not be a time wasted, that the discussions that will be held here will matter and they will add up to what we are doing in Nigeria. In the National Orientation Agency, it is our desire indeed that Nigerians say they are Nigerians and not whether you are from north, south, east or west, and whether you are a Muslim, Christian or any other religion at that. And so because we are gathered here together, I say welcome in the name of God. I say welcome in the name of everything that is good and well. Welcome because you have put Nigeria first. None, do, Mbana. Thank you.
Presently, I want to invite the Director General for his remarks.
Now, but that is to show the heart of the average and true Nigerian. One that prefers accommodation, one that prefers friendship, one that chooses peace instead of crisis, chaos, and confusion. The Honorable Minister, Alhaji Mohammed, FNIPR, Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, my colleagues, His Lordship, Right Reverend Nicholas Oko, Primate of the Church of the Anglican Communion, my brother and friend, Sheikh Mohammed Nur Al-Khalid, Chief Imam of the Hmic. You normally invite me for the breaking of fast. I think we forget me this time. I hope you will not forget me next year. Other distinguished men of God, our resource persons and key speakers, keynote speakers, Professors America and Osakwe, representative of various military and police, including security establishments, our bosses from the media, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me thank all of you once again for finding time to come and share in this conversation. This is a conversation of brothers. This is a conversation aimed at enhancing our security awareness and alertness. This is a conversation that we hope will produce more strategies, implementable ones that we will not have to go and hang on the shelf and set up other committees to look at, but those that will be practical, implementable, especially in these seasons, where our citizens are exposed to a lot of challenges, security challenges, and even those security challenges are curious security challenges, which we must resolve as one people to stop them in their tracks. We all believe, we all know that we face a scourge that has seen innocent lives taken. Communities are scared and disrupted. Institutions are destabilized in actions that abuse faith and justify violence. Ladies and gentlemen, to respond in any other way than projecting our humanism and the values that make us creatures of a creator is not the least desirable at this moment. We must agree, distinguished guests, that our religion should feed peace rather than violence. It is in this regard that the agency finds it necessary and timely to invite all of us here in this conversation. Honorable Minister, we are grateful and thank you profusely that this invitation to you was only extended last night. And you said, this is an important conversation that I will be part of. I must be part of, God willing. And you, in the spirit of the times, did not only come here exactly 20 minutes to 10, you kept the time and you kept faith with your promise. Let this example keep growing in our hearts and attitude, because we cannot afford that Abuja will continue to start late. Abuja must shift from that culture of starting 10, 11, and so forth and so on. We should redo our time. Let us create an Abuja time that starts as early as 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I want to thank again all those, especially the Imam. He also came very, very early, and I'm not surprised that he did so. He's a lover and participant in all things good and positive. We thank His Grace for. I got your letter yesterday, and I thought you were not going to come. That's why you sent an advance letter. And so I was telling my people that we will read the letter, even if he's not here. Then somebody shouted that he's here, he has already arrived. I said, oh. It means the letter he sent to us, and I read it, is to prepare us for today. Thank you so much for that letter. We are partnering with the director, artistic director, to implement certain programs for mass mobilization that will create the necessary interaction and enhance confidence in our government, in our armed forces, and our people. Very soon, these programs will be implemented. As an agency, we are reaching out to critical key stakeholders. Like I said yesterday, I spoke to Professor Wole Soyinka, and he has been enlisted to join us, to add his voice in this search for peace. He promised to join us in the next couple of days here in Abuja to lead a campaign to other parts of our country. We are grateful to him in absentia. So I want to welcome you, and may God bless all of you, sir. Welcome.
We'll have a lead paper at this discussion and dialogue forum, which will be presented by Professor Chufuma, TC of Akwe, from our guests who are on ground today.
Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Mohammed, the Chief Host, my brother, the DG of National Representation Agency, Hmic, Your Grace, the Primate of the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, my brother, the Sheikh or Imam for Akpo Mosque, other chief executives of parastatals of government and agencies of government here present, my brothers and sisters, I welcome all of us to this wonderful occasion. I want to start by commending our Honorable Minister, who were given 10 o'clock, and I came in, I'm known for Israeli time, 10 for 10. And when I walked in by 10, they were already seated. And I said to myself, change is not only for us to speak, but change is for us to live and act. And in everything we do, we must give time a priority. Time waits for nobody. I have a friend from Yobe, he's always telling me, he said, Oga, I prefer to wait for time, not for time to wait for me. And that really makes a lot of sense to me. I want to commend you, Honorable Minister, the Lord that you serve. You have started well, and He will see you through. And I want to use that opportunity to encourage all of us in everything we do. We must always take time seriously. Today is a special day. The challenges we face are real. They may not be overcome easily, but with God on our side, certainly we will overcome. The road may be rough, but the fixing is sure. If we have men and women who collectively come together and say, we must find a way. I was sharing with the minister of what happened in the Northeast, and he said to me, the issues there on ground will take several years for us to be able to repair. And here we are. If we have an opportunity to prevent what can happen tomorrow, why not we start today? And that is what my brother, the DG, and his team have done, to be able to partner with the religious leaders, because nothing should be taken for granted. I know God is on our side, but even when God is fighting for you, Ephesians chapter 6 teaches us, he said, after all the doing, you can now stand. That means you must do something. And doing something means that you must sacrifice your time, you must put your heads together and say, what can we do as a nation to move Nigeria forward? Nigeria is bigger, greater than any single individual. And the legacies we leave today will not only live on, but will live for our children yet unborn. And I want to thank God for bringing us together. And I pray today, as we discuss and share, we will take home a message that we will translate into concrete reality. We are not just coming to take note and then go back, but we must go home with something that will help us talk to other people who are not here. Let us be the mouthpiece of peace, and we will speak peace and pursue peace to where the enemies of peace shall be defeated. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
When they said that change must start with me as the pastor of Seventh-day Adventist Church, that I should minimize my preaching on the terms that the issue God will repent, God will help them, God will protect them. Rather, I will tell my people, let them do the right thing. By doing the right thing, the church and the nation will remain in peace. May God bless all of us in Jesus' name.
Thank you, my brother and my friend, the DG, Mr. Hmic from Mary. All other protocols observed. Mr. Minister, the Honorable Minister, permit me to start with saying that security challenges have, over the years, become the most important concern in the world at large, in Nigeria in particular. Our places of worship, learning institutions, and marketplaces are not safe as they used to be in the 80s. In recent time, no one is free from the suicide attack of the insurgents of extremists in the name of God. Men, women, children, old, young, Muslim, Christian, all of us are targets. The main purpose of these attacks is our values, our liberty, and our rights. They want us to keep still and close our eyes. They want to control our thoughts and dedicate to us what values we have, what is the limit of our liberty, and what faith they approve for us. It is their belief that they have the authority from the Almighty of limiting our rights to everything, including the right to life. Religion is the tool they use to indoctrinate extremism in the minds of our children. They misinterpret our scripture and misuse the concept of jihad to radicalize our youth against us and render our spiritual places to be in danger. We, the religious leaders, therefore, have a duty of preventing this. If God were not to repel some irregular people through others, regular people, monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques, wherein the name of the Almighty is being much mentioned, will certainly have been pulled down. God will most certainly help those who will help him. Verily, God is immensely strong, overwhelmingly mighty. Quran chapter 22, verse 40. This verse is an indicator showing the importance of having some good people whom Allah will use in resisting the mischief of the evils. In the absence of such resistance, not only our social values, but the world is in danger. And if God were not to repel one set of irregular people by means of other regular people, the earth will indeed be full of mischief. But God is full of bounty to the mankind that exists. Quran chapter 2, verse 252. Security issues are every regular person's duty. We must continue to support every program set aside by the government for the purpose of the radicalization of thoughts
and reinterrogation of regretted, apologized, and repented radical youth. It is in this vein that we believe in coming together this morning to participate in this seminar and wish the organizers a success in this important event that God will use in helping us to work with the government agencies in closing all the security gaps in our worship places and the nation at large. Thank you. May God bless you.
Honorable Minister here present, Federal Minister for Information and Culture, we're happy to see you. The DG, National Orientation Agency, and other distinguished people here present, religious leaders of all denominations and religions here present, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to associate with this program because of the huge importance which we attach to it, particularly any effort to promote peace in the country. There is no need for anyone to say that we need peace, because if you don't understand it, the absence of it will make you to understand it. So it's very, very crucial that we have peace. So anybody working to promote peace is a friend, is an ally, and deserves the support of everyone. So we want to say that peace is important for the overall development of the country in the different areas. The organizer in the streets needs peace to be able to find job to do. The tailor, the military man, even the military man needs peace. Whether in the Air Force, in the Navy, in the Army, the National Civil Defense Corps also need peace, every one of us. In the church, we do need peace. I remember that at a particular time in the story of this country, it was difficult to even go to church because you have to make adequate security arrangements for the peace of the people in the church. You cannot just tell them, go in. A situation where you begin to install checking points at the church entrance is certainly not the right thing. So we support any effort to bring about peace. When you look at it, you cannot have any economic pursuit without peace. You cannot go to school without peace. Even those in politics, there will be no politics to play if there is no peace. So the fundamental requirement for life itself is peace. And that is why we have government, that the people we have put in government should organize for us to be able to live in peace. In the east, in the west, in the north, in the south. So that having peace, our social life can go on well. And we'll be able to promote interaction across cultural lines, promote interaction across religious lines, promote interaction across racial lines, so that our country can move forward. The rest of the world, in some parts of them, have moved forward. They are no longer grappling with these fundamental needs of peace and unity. But here we are still having this teething problem. I believe that if we can solve it, then we have laid a foundation upon which the infrastructure of national development will be based. So we congratulate you, sir, and pray that our gathering here will bear fruit 100-fold. Thank you very much, sir.
I am here as the emblem of National Troop of Nigeria. Cultural ambassadors of Nigeria were called. However, in the spirit of the season and the new change government, we, that is National Troop of Nigeria and National Orientation Agency, have found our charge, which is to make the expression of peace, the expression of a secured environment go around even areas where there is strife in Nigeria. This is why in our role as animators, that is using the human body to express ideas. If not for space today, my colleague, the versatile DG, Hmic, had wanted us to bring one of our wonderful pieces, which we hope to take out to the IDPs in a couple of weeks, because we are not charged to actually be in the National Theatre in Lagos or in the peaceful areas alone, but to take the message and even the distinguished high-level performances that the peaceful areas enjoy to our people, our Nigerians who are feeling the heat of the insecurities today in the places where they have been forced to be, in the IDP camps and some of the barracks of our wonderful military. Therefore, because of the constraint of space, we are not able to do that. But by the grace of God, from another 10 days, by the grace of God, you will be seeing on the media, all the media, what impressions, what expressions we have been able to take for the enjoyment, for the information, and for the message of hope to our Nigerians in the distressed areas. This is why I am so glad that the minister is able to come here today. But if I had known on time, I would have insisted, no matter what space we have designed, we could have actually shortened our performance to only 4 people. However, I'm most glad to identify with this wonderful cause, and we pray that peace will reign in Nigeria so much that you will be able to enjoy what National Troop of Nigeria represents. Thank you very much.
Until this morning, I did not know the rich background of the primate. I never knew that the primate had a glorious career in the military before he became the primate. And I think this should be. I want to seize the way to warn anybody that wants to try to rascality with my primate. It's a very, very big crossing. He was in the army and he rose to a very, very glorious height. I want also to revive the digital imam. I'm sure many of us here are not Muslims. But I listened very attentively to the address, the goodwill address from the imam, and I agree with the title as the digital imam. I want to recognize my friend, Mr. John Kennedy of Farah, the Executive Secretary of the Christian People's Commission. And well, there's also Imam Ilyasu, who is, I'm told, is the Imam of Area 8 Mosque. There is Reverend Ishaq Sani, there's Reverend Kaneko. Please permit me to skip all other. I do recognize everybody here present. Thank you very much. It is an honor for me to address our reverend religious leaders today in our collective quest to sustain our peaceful coexistence as a people. Considering the fact that all religions preach peace and good neighborliness, and the role of our religious leaders in guiding us to observe our moral duty to uphold peace, I would say this is one of the most important groups to engage with in any attempt at peace building. There is no gainsaying the fact that peace is a key ingredient of development. It is in realization of this fact that this administration has continued to affirm its commitment to providing the necessary environment under which the peace, prosperity, and progress of the Nigerian people can be guaranteed on a sustainable basis. The determination of the administration to end the insurgency in the Northeast is an unflinching resolve which, by the grace of Almighty God and the support and cooperation of all Nigerians, will be achieved soonest. You, our revered religious leaders, have a big role to play in this respect. Top on the list of these roles is the need to de-radicalize those who have been exposed to extremist and violent view of religion, especially in the Northeast. It is important for you, our religious leaders, to highlight the pristine and unadulterated version of the two dominant religious faiths, Christianity and Islam, to remind all the adherents of both faiths that nowhere did any of them preach hatred or violence. I have just returned from a tour of the areas that have been liberated by gallant military in Borno State. I led 33 local and international rallies to visit Maiduguri, Konduga, Kawe, and Barma, the last three of which were the hotbed of Boko Haram. The kind of destruction and devastation that I saw in those areas convinced me more than ever that the perpetrators are not adherents of any religion, but a bunch of mad people. Our religious leaders must make this point loud and clear for the benefit of gullible ones who may want to believe that those perpetrating the heinous killings in the Northeast subscribe to any faith. The military is doing their bit to restore peace to the affected communities. What is missing, however, is the civilian component of the war. The need for all Nigerians to support the military and also own the war. Our religious leaders have a great role to play in this respect. That is why we'll be calling on them in the days ahead to be part of the integrated efforts to rally people of all faiths and from all walks of life to support the war efforts. It is also important that our highly respected religious leaders provide the alternative narration to the distortion of religion that has allowed some deranged people to hide under religion to perpetrate evil. You, our religious leaders, cannot and must not say the tough to purveyors of hatred and violence. If we put our nation and its unity and development first, then we will have no place for behaviors that run contrary to the national interest. The involvement of political stakeholders in the peace conversation will certainly deepen and consolidate the gains of all peace building efforts by the NOA and other concerned agencies of government. This conversation today with religious leaders therefore comes at a moment when we desperately need to maximize the input of our religious leaders and religious bodies toward national cohesion. At a time of agitations in some parts of the country for persons who believe their interests have not been well catered for in the Federation over the years, our religious leaders can serve as an appealing voice to these aggrieved citizens. They can help them understand that while they have the right to ventilate their discontent, there is the need also to do so using only the appropriate and established channels, while allowing the government to address the issues they raise without constituting themselves as a threat to the peace of their neighbors. I therefore urge you, our religious leaders, to use this conversation as a forum to strategize how to put the search for lasting peace and security on a more sure footing in the nation through people orientation. I also urge you all to intensify your prayers for divine assistance so that our peace-building efforts will speedily yield deserved results. I wish you a very fruitful session here today. Thank you. I hereby declare the conversation open. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this program will continue.
Christianity. It's not so. We've lost as many Muslims as many Christians in this world. Anybody who has been to the war zone and sees the level of destruction and sees the level of of damage, and if you go to the IDP camps, you see the misery. The children are neither Christians nor Muslims. They are Nigerians. The old women and the old men who are the people of this world are neither. When you go to the IDP camps, you don't see a section for Christians and a section for Muslims. You see people who have been torn apart from their families, people who have been means of livelihood have been destroyed. So we as Nigerians must be able to give the alternative narrative, which is that this is a senseless war. It must never be allowed, it can never be repeated again. And again, all the military can do is they can win the war. We need also to win the peace. And this is where all of us need to contribute. I think whatever we all do, in little ways, will help in winning this war and winning the peace. For instance, we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of Nigerians today who are living outside their homes, who have been displaced. They need medical care, they need clothes, they need shelter. I think the Nigerians can help by contributing their own little bit. I was impressed. Somebody went to Jos, got a bail, 2 bales of second-hand clothes, just to give to the IDP centers, because they are all left in the open, to the mercy of elements. So this is why I think that all of us, the way we take this word, the way we think, the way we behave, we should let the world know that these people are neither Nigerians, because no honest Nigerian would inflict the kind of horror, the kind of damage on Nigeria. They are not Christians, they are not Muslims, they are just mad people.
With the Yuletide approaching fast upon us, and there have been reports recently by security agencies that there are sleeper cells, maybe in the FCT, and of course, have other parts of the country. What will the ministry do in order to alert Nigerians to more?
So, you see, the ministry is starting the national security camp, and I'm happy that anyway has started already. This information has started already. We want people, we extort them. Like when you see strong, strange movements, report to the police. You see strange packages, report to the police. We try to, we have been trying to advise people to avoid congregations and unnecessarily, because it's simply because the military is winning the war. That is why you have these cowardly attacks on children, marketplaces, churches. But we all have to be very conscious that we are living in a time when nobody can be safe from the attack of the lone, mad suicide bomber. And look at what happened in France. France is not that, there is no insurgency, and with all the sophistication, they were still able to penetrate. So, but what I is that we must give relevant information
to the authorities. We are the only people that can secure Nigeria. The military alone cannot secure Nigeria. The police alone cannot secure Nigeria. But we can secure Nigeria if we take security as our responsibility.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.